Hello. Why
Good
is it,
morning. How are you?
yes. Why is it that you and by the way, it's Curt and Jen podcast, and we've got Stephen Kilbreath filling in for Jen this week while she is so deep in the woods that they don't even know what the heck a cell phone is, right? Or a phone. So you and I tend, when we call each other, to go, hello,
Ooh.
or hello,
Where does that?
buddy. Well,
Hello, buddy. Where does that come from? I think hello is Mrs. Doubtfire, right?
yes. Hello, I believe it is. But I don't know about, the other one sounds like Terrence and Phillip from South Park. I have to
Oh.
Hey, buddy. What's your t-shirt you're wearing, Steven? You're proud of that t-shirt.
Oh, well, this is from the Totally Tubular Festival, which was a concert I went to over at Remlinger Farms. And you can see, I don't know if you can see the lineup. Probably can't, but it was
Thomas Dolby. I saw
The
Thompson twins,
Thompson
Thomas Dolby.
twins, Thomas Dolby, although I left before Thomas Dolby because he was the headliner, which was weird. But Thompson twins, Men Without Hats, the Tubes, Bow Wow Wow, Tommy Two Tone, and
Was
there's
Haircut
somebody I'm
100
missing.
there?
Modern English, no haircut 100, but
Because I think they're coming up with a show you're also going to see. You've got ABC, right?
oh yeah, that's right.
ABC
And
and then
Howard Jones.
and Howard Jones, and a third on the bill is Haircut 100, which I have to admit is my favorite of those three, even though people are like, "Here's Haircut 100."
Oh really? I don't
Ring,
know.
ring, love, love plus one. That was one of their 80s hits. So you will enjoy that show immensely, I'm sure.
Well, I'm actually looking forward to, as my friend calls them, the ABCs, which, you and I are kind of music snobs and that kind of stuff probably bugs us, but the ABCs are going to be there. And I'm like,
Oh, yes. They put a the in front of it and they pluralize it like,
and they put an S.
yeah.
It's like
Hey, I'm
people
going to
who
go see
go,
the Led Zeppelins.
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
it's the
Uh,
same people who go shop at the Safeways,
the
right? So,
Safeways. I hadn't heard that one. Are you prepared to sing an ABC song for everybody so they know?
well, when Smokey sings, that's my favorite. So,
What was their
and
biggest
then they,
hit?
what?
ABC's biggest hit. I don't think it was When Smokey Sings. I think they had a bigger hit than that.
Well, there was Be Near Me and The Look of Love.
Look of
And
Love is the one I remember. Okay. Anyway, you are filling up on your 80s culture and music coming up here between those two shows. All
what
right,
else
let's
is there? I mean, isn't that the greatest decade of music?
the
What do you think?
80s?
Yeah, what do you think?
No. But well, it's you know
No?
what? It was the greatest decade in my opinion for dance music,
Hmm.
honestly. Because even when I'm out gigging or if I'm at a club or whatever, even now, people are like play Kendrick Lamar, and that's fine, but I just don't think it's dance music. I'm and perhaps it's because I am the age I am, but I think that the stuff from the late 70s and early 80s and mid 80s was, some really great dance music.
It might be the age that we are, but it's also that we're right. So,
There's that. Thank you. I wish I had the applause sound effects ready to go here. I could, yes, because we're right. Let's catch up on Olympic stuff.
okay.
The U.S. shot way up to second place in golds. We had a big
Wow.
day yesterday. So I get a little, there's a lot of numbers, and I don't want to go into all the numbers, but we won seven more medals. Four of them were gold yesterday with Simone Biles winning the women's all around. That was as she was doing her floor routine for the final. Um, the commentators said nothing that entire time
Hmm.
because it was perfect. I mean, there was nothing to say, and or maybe they were just backing off to let people enjoy watching the greatest,
Right.
gymnast ever. So she got a gold. Suni Lee took bronze in the women's all around. More medals as well for Kate Douglas in swimming, Regan Smith in swimming, Katie Ledecky. She did the 4x200 meter freestyle relay, so she's now the most decorated U.S. female Olympian of all time. Golf clap for that, Katie Ledecky. So, and if you're into rowing and or women's foil, we also won golds in that. So now we've not just jumped
Well,
up to we're now second place in the gold medal count behind China.
well, the you said Katie Ledecky is the most decorated Olympian of all time. I thought that was Simone Biles,
The
no?
most decorated female U.S. Olympian of all time. Simone Biles maybe has the most. Well, it should be in here. The first American gymnast to win more than once the women's all around. Da, 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 da. She now has nine Olympic medals, six of them gold. So
Oh,
Katie
so only
Ledecky
nine.
has
Only
the
nine.
yeah, just nine. But Katie Ledecky has 13 medals. I don't know how many of them are gold, but let's just say that they're both pretty good at their jobs.
I would say that's the case.
At their
Yes.
jobs. So, you know what you had mentioned, isn't Tom Cruise? I believe Tom Cruise was set to parasail or something. Isn't he?
I think he's doing, yeah, I think they did a thing where he's going to be not parasailing, but like skydiving
There you
into
go.
during the Olympic finals.
Yeah.
He's not doing it in Paris, he's doing it in LA, where I guess that's the next Summer Olympics is
Yeah,
going to
this is
be
the like the
Los Angeles.
orchestrated handoff, a ceremonial handoff to LA for the 2028 Olympiad. So yeah, he's going to skydive to the Hollywood sign apparently. But it says, I just pulled this up. It just says he may skydive. So I don't know if they're, and maybe that's weather depending, or maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming it's weather depending, but it could
Well,
be also that maybe he won't.
Well, the spoiler alert is it says that it was the stunt was already shot. So it's like I don't know if that's going to be a thing though, but I don't know if they're thinking of something else or what it is, or maybe they're maybe they're doing it like the moon landing where they're going to do it live, but they already have something in the books. And I know I'm just kidding about the moon landing. Or am I? I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what I'm thinking?
So okay, so what you're saying is Tom Cruise is landing on the moon for
Yes.
the end of the Olympics. All right.
That would be
Or
awesome though.
maybe
I would watch that.
he may be doing that. On this day, this is a departure from what we're talking about, but it's going to lead to something. You're going to find out something about me. 5 years ago in 2019 is when the Fast and the Furious spinoff Hobbs and Shaw was released. You've got The Rock in there, Jason Statham, among others. Ask me how many Fast and Furious movies I've seen.
Curt, how many Fast and Furious movies have you seen?
That'd be zero.
Oh,
And
I
I'm
that's mine as well.
Yes, I was I a not that interested, and I still, and again, maybe this is an age thing, but when they alter the cars, these days, I just think they sound whiny and thin. It's like, to me, if you have a muscle car from the 70s, if you have a GTO or something like that, that's how an engine is supposed to sound,
Right.
not ring, Rainier beard commercial is what they
Yeah.
sound like. That's what
So,
I think. And of course, I'm wrong, but that's when I
well,
go ahead.
we're definitely wrong. I mean, the Fast and Furious, they how many have they had? 10, 12?
Seven
I don't know.
43.
43 of them.
Yeah.
Well, Hobbs and Shaw, which I've never heard of. That's just a
Spinoff. Right.
that was a movie then?
Yes. And I
Oh.
imagine it had the cars that sound like that in there.
And saying that I don't watch the Olympics and that I don't know anything about Fast and the Furious, does that mean that I'm lame, or just is it the age, or
No,
what's
I
wrong
think
with me?
that well, I don't know that if either of us are that interested in and they might be great movies. I don't know. I've never seen one. I of course am assuming probably wrongly that every one of them is about, let me see, there's a bunch of people with their fast cars, and then there's some drama, and maybe somebody dies, and there's
Yeah.
probably a love interest, and then there's the two people that can't stand each other, and maybe at the end they're friends.
See, that's the same plot of all of the movies I watch, the romantic comedies. So,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
right.
that's I mean, that's
Minus the
basically a
cars.
Hallmark movie with cars.
Yes. What also, and this would be surprising, if I asked you, I know you know the answer because we talked about it. If I asked you right now, hey, you remember that ice bucket challenge? How long ago was that? When was that going on? What would you have said?
Well, I would have been able to pinpoint it because of my kids,
Hmm.
and the age they were, and we did that and all that stuff. But every time people say this was so long ago in history or whatever, it always surprises me. So the answer does surprise me.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
The Ice Bucket Challenge turns 10 this month, so August of 2014. And the good news is, so far, it's raised $220 million over the past decade
Wow.
to help find a cure for ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. So I actually had somebody, my friend Teresa, actually challenged me to do that, and I can't remember if I did. I think I did, as I recall. I know that I donated some money because I was like, well, at least I'll donate some money, but uh, yeah, I don't. Did you do the ice bucket challenge? You probably did it live on the TV.
No, I didn't do it there, but we did do it at the house with the boys and challenged his teachers and stuff like that. And And I mean, it's a funny video because he didn't realize it was going to be as cold as it was, so he was like screaming and stuff. So I like it when the kids are
Which who
screaming.
who was that? Was it Ben or Jack, your son?
They both kind of freaked out about it. They
They
both
didn't realize
wanted
that
it,
ice was cold, but youngins.
and then I think it was Jack, the little one, who was like, I don't want any more ice, no more," and he was running off the deck and all that kind of stuff. It was kind of funny.
Awesome. Awesome. So, this is a new thing I just heard about, and whatever floats your boat, I guess. Apparently TikTok is obsessed with fridgescaping,
Hmm.
which is exactly how it sounds. Fridgescaping is like landscaping, but inside your refrigerator, basically to make your fridge look as aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Hmm.
And then I'm like,
Interesting.
well, why? Are you bringing people to your house and saying, hey, here's the interior of my fridge. Check this out.
Well,
Got
you would
a,
be if you did this.
we got some plants over here and a flower there. So apparently people are using it like with themes.
Oh.
So and this is apparently not a new thing. I guess there was a blog post back in 2011 where somebody said, "Hey, I'm making the inside of my fridge all fancy like." But the people now are literally decorating the inside of their fridge with wicker baskets, tiny picture frames, framed art, stuff like that. And then the one person who was a fan of Bridgerton did an inspired version. She called it Bridgerton. See?
Ah. Yeah.
Bridgerton. So basically, if you got nothing to do this weekend and you're not into the Olympics and you have the time, fridgescaping.
Hmm. Well, that's I'm not sure I'm going to have the time for that, but
Yeah.
we'll see. No,
Well,
it's interesting though. I mean, that's I guess there is a positive thing from TikTok. You learn things like this, I guess.
well, maybe it's an excuse just to organize your fridge too.
Well, that's probably maybe you should clean it out.
Okay. The subject, your homework from yesterday was who would you pay the most money to see in concert? And you and I both discussed this, Stephen, that you said that you thought that it would be Coldplay, right?
Well, I that's not the most I've ever paid for a concert, but out of the people that I've seen, I think Coldplay and Imagine Dragons are two of the best shows I've seen over the last
Okay.
five,
But
10 years, probably. So, I think they were great. The gray area of this is, we would pay a lot to have gone back in time and see people we didn't get a chance to see. So
right,
that's one of those things.
right.
But I mean, the most money I paid for a concert was Justin Timberlake, which was shockingly expensive. And I mean, was it worth it? I mean, who knows, right? So it's just so shockingly expensive, these concerts.
That's true. I think that those were the relatively cheap ticks were in the 300 range, right?
Yes.
I know this because you said, "Hey, buddy,
Yeah, no, I
want
know.
to go?"
And I was
'Cause-
trying to sell them because this is my thing. Is like as a single gentleman, you
Mhm.
have to. I always buy two tickets to things in hopes of, oh, maybe there will be somebody to go with. But then
Right,
there's never anybody to go with, and then I'm so cheap, I don't just want to give tickets away, and so I
right.
try to find people to at least give me some money for something. But
Oh, I'm sure that'll light up the emails and the whatever. Like, I'll go with you, Steven.
well,
But see, the thing was for Justin Timberlake, you bought four tickets.
I did.
And that's, and
Yeah.
often we think, oh, these are going to go fast. And of course I can get rid of these tickets if I need to. And that wasn't the case that time. But
Well, because one of the things is that they have now made it so at least Ticketmaster, I think you can't resell tickets for lower than face value
mm,
either, and the face value was just so high,
right.
and it was not my greatest moment, but that was
Okay.
a lesson learned. I
Well,
actually ended up with floor seats with somebody else, and I did sell my seats for restaurant gift cards to a friend of mine who owns a restaurant. So that worked out okay, but it just didn't really make enough money back on it.
you
So,
got thousands of dollars in restaurant gift cards now. That's right.
well, I wish it was
Uh,
thousands. It
well, the
was not.
response to when we were asking people who would you pay the most money to see in concert, and I did not. I suppose I should have put the caveat on there of not because if you say living or dead, people are, it's gonna I thought if we
Right,
said include people that have passed, it'd be 200 people long. So
right.
what we got was Tracy said, and she's a big Styx fan. So Tracy said she would
Oh,
see Styx, and
well,
actually
you can see Sticks. Don't they tour still or no?
yeah, well all these people still tour. The
Well, I
question is
mean,
who would you pay the most to see in
I
concert?
see. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And She also put down Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which they
Oh,
put on a great show too.
they
Amy
do.
wants to see, she would pay the most money to see Taylor Swift in Paris. That's also on there, in Paris. Rob said the Cinematic Orchestra, which we listened to a couple of songs by. It seems like they're very, well, like it says, it sounds like it's a movie soundtrack type of music, jazz-ish.
Yeah.
I know
Never
I'm
heard
not
of
doing a
them.
good job of selling it. The Cinematic Orchestra. How about Jules wants to see the Bee Gees? That would be tough because it's just one. It's now the BG, I believe,
There's
or
only
just the
one left.
B. There's one left. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my first. Well, I can't remember which was first because in 1977 I saw at the Seattle Center Coliseum Captain and Tennille and the Bee Gees, but I don't remember which one was first. But that was my jam there.
You know, what's funny is when people bring up their first shows, because for me it was Huey Lewis in the News.
Oh,
Um,
awesome!
yeah, and a friend of mine, their first show was Lionel Richie, and for a long time there, you wouldn't have admitted that. You'd be like, oh, I can't. But you know, and Lionel has obviously had to come back now. He's back on the picture tube and everything.
Right.
But at the time, those were phenomenal, huge tickets. Trying to get, oh my God, you went and saw Lionel Richie? That's pretty awesome. So I guess, looking back sometimes we could be a little fonder about those things. Although the person, Katie, said Garth Brooks was the one
Oh
she
yeah,
would see the most, pay the most to see. And you've seen Garth Brooks.
I've seen Garth Brooks. Yeah, well, I mean a long long time ago, but yeah,
Yeah.
he was
Chase
great.
said Celine Dion, which you can't argue with that, really,
Well,
especially
and
after,
especially now,
yeah.
I think it would be better. I mean, I saw her in Las Vegas, which
Mhm.
was a great show, but.
Okay. And our friend Jason said The Holidays with Michael Stein. Michael was a longtime jock on Star 101.5. And he actually did have a band that got, I'll try to keep it short, but he had a band called The Holidays, and they got signed to a label and they put out a CD and everything. My understanding is the kind of sounded like the B-52s, which if you like the B-52s, that's awesome. But that is a
Right.
bit of an acquired taste or a unique taste, I suppose. And so one and done with the Holidays album. I actually found that at a used bin for $1. I bought
Oh, nice.
Every Day is a Holiday by the Holidays. So
Oh,
what about
okay.
you? We were actually, you and I were talking separately about the most exciting person we've ever met over the years. Do you have a clear cut answer for that? The most exciting person you ever met?
In our careers, I
Well,
mean,
in your life.
well, I think for me, it was because I worked in pop or what's it? I don't even remember, hip hop radio and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff, and
The Cube, right?
then at a country radio station. So we did get a chance to meet people. The one that I had the most heart fluttering for was certainly Shania Twain. There's no
Oh,
question about
wow.
that. So
Wow.
that was a fun one, and I remember, and she is also probably one of the nicest people, and I know she's got people in her ear telling her things, but we were at a, record release party in Nashville, and and you got to talk to her and all that kind of stuff, and I said, hey, Shania, I was at a concert at the Tacoma Dome, and I swear that you pointed at me during one of your songs, and my wife said, no, 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 she didn't point at you. And she was like, Stephen, you tell your wife that I pointed at you, and I will every time I'm at a show that you're at. She said, and all that. And then it was just funny. And then the next morning we were interviewing her, and she came up and gave me a hug, and she goes, oh my gosh, Stephen, it's so great to see you again. And I like that,
Right.
because I'm sure somebody said, hey, this is Stephen. He told you that stupid story last night. Be nice to him. And it was, it was great. So
Well,
she's
no,
awesome.
I think that's, well, she's good at her job too, and
Right.
I wouldn't, I mean, I wouldn't look at that and say, oh, this is all fake and whatnot. I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I
Very, very nice. I mean, I was a little, starstruck with her for sure.
Sure. Well, and often I don't think people maybe know this, but many, many, many times the people that you get to quote unquote meet, the meet and greets are like, you line up and then they just walk down the line, shake your hands and say hi, and then they're gone. I mean, the Lenny Kravitz meet and greet that I did, and we had probably 10 people there. I mean, the whole thing might have lasted 5 minutes, just bing, 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 and done. So, and that's fine too. I mean, they're busy and they got a show to do. So,
Were you
but it
ever
is nice for
excited, like over the moon meeting somebody?
mine are well, yeah, mine are musicians that I have a lot of respect for, like Elvis Costello. I was
Oh,
very
cool.
The guys from REM was a big deal for me. Do you remember Warren Zevon, who did a lot
Oh
more
yeah.
than Werewolves of London? That was a cool one too. So, and then the people that you meet that John Mellencamp was a really nice guy, and I
Oh,
didn't know what
cool.
to expect. I was like, so and also his drummer is the reason I don't drink tequila anymore. It was too much tequila that night, thanks to he had a bald drummer. I think his name is Kenny Aronson or something like that. And he was just,
Oh,
hey, Curt, this was a long time ago, but woof, that sticks with you. Question. The things we forget the most when traveling, right? Maybe not a
ooh,
question. That's a kind of a statement. So think about that for a second. You took a big trip this summer, maybe, and you perhaps had a Home Alone style moment where you didn't forget your kid necessarily. Um, but these are the things that people forget the most when traveling. All right. Almost 9 in 10 people say, yes, I've forgotten something when traveling. And it's maybe not as big of a deal as it used to be because you can so easily get things these days. If you want, I mean, oh shoot, we're in Honolulu and we forgot, whatever. It's just down there at the store. But the list goes in reverse order from 7 to 1. Wallet people have forgotten. That's a big one. Water
yeah,
bottles, they've forgotten socks.
yeah. Water bottles.
If you're going someplace warm, you don't need socks. They've got medication. That could be a biggie. Sunscreen. I don't even know if we bring sunscreen. I just think we buy it when we get wherever we're going.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Toiletries and the phone charger. That's a third of people have forgotten the phone charger. And obviously that's a biggie. But forgetting your phone altogether. But I
Yeah,
have,
we.
go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was just going to say I have so many phone chargers. I forget that buy one here or pick up one there, and so there's a whole box that I have in my house. There's probably I don't know 16, 17 in there. Over
Oh
time, they
wow.
just collect, and sometimes you end up. Well, I've just got the cable, but I don't have the actual
All right.
plug part.
Yeah.
So
I have a
don't
phone
forget that.
charger waiting for me to pick up at a hotel in Vancouver because it was
Hmm.
going to be $90 to mail it. So they said they would keep it for up to a year. So I'm awaiting that. And then a water bottle. My kids and I traveled to Washington D.C.
Right.
Over midwinter break, and um, or yeah, we went to Washington D.C. and New York. I forget which city it was, but whatever. The hotel, my son left his water bottle, and they FedExed it to us. The
Oh,
water bottle
nice.
that at no charge, which I thought was awesome. So thank you for I think it was the Marriott Marquis Hotel. So thank you so much. That was awesome.
For some reason, there's aside from the germ factor, I think we get attached to our water bottles. It's a,
Yeah,
it,
we
you
do.
know, it's like I want to keep this one, and if it goes away, I'm going to do what I can to get it back versus just going and getting another one.
Right.
Um, how about what can make you healthier? And you're going to say a lot of things, and that is true. But apparently, having a dog
Oh,
helps you be
wow.
healthy.
Okay. Well, that makes
Dogs,
sense, right?
I think so. And we've always, up until recently, we had 2 dogs. Poor Dexy crossed the Rainbow Bridge back in April. But we still have Bella the Beagle, who is snoring behind me. Dogs have always been known for their loyalty. Now we have to acknowledge how important they can be for their owner's health. Let's go down some of the research that shows owning a dog can, of course, provide companionship, also help you be more active. They make kids calmer, more secure, and more responsible. You've seen sometimes they'll show these clips of dogs going into a hospital for the kids, and it's just amazing,
Mhm.
what good that does. Dogs improve the lives of older individuals as well. Again, helping people be calmer, more mindful, and more present in your life. Make you feel more social, less isolated, and they ease stress. All good things.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for like things of people that have loneliness, bouts of loneliness, anxiety, and depression. Dogs are just perfect. Honestly, there's a few you'll see memes and stuff like that about they're can I go out and limb here and I say maybe God's like I didn't quite get humans right, so let's make it. Here you go. This is it. This is perfection.
Yeah.
The pooches in your life. So I know you don't have dogs. There's a reason for that. Is it allergies or?
It's I don't have I don't think that I would do a dog a good service by my schedule and things like
Yeah.
that. That's why I'm not opposed to dogs. I mean, when I was married, we had a dog and all of that, but I just don't. I just think in my lifestyle and what I'm doing now with the schedule and being gone
Yeah.
most weekends, that's going to be tough.
Well, that's responsible too. I appreciate that because there are people, oh, we're going to get a doggy. And then it's like, okay, so now your dog gets no attention. You know, you're both working full-time jobs. So that's very responsible of you, Stephen.
But you can rent dogs, right? Can't you do that where you can go to the dog park and try to pick up people and stuff like that, or is that
That
not a thing?
probably is a thing. I don't
Yeah.
know. I know you can foster them, but yeah, now you just gave people ideas. That's a great idea. Dogs are chip magnets. Totally. All right. So here comes the weekend and it's going to be hot. It's and I know we have friends around the country. It's like, oh no, you're getting up to 90, big deal. It's like, well, they don't realize that most people around here don't have air conditioning. So 90
Right.
is a big deal.
Yeah.
Looks like tomorrow. So today up around 90. Tomorrow is going to be the cold snap. Tomorrow it's
Right.
only going to be 86 and then back to around 90 on Sunday. But it is Seafair Weekend.
It is, yeah, no, always the first weekend of August, and
Mhm.
you've got the Hydros and the Blue Angels late in the afternoon on both Friday or all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday around
Right.
3:30. But they have other things too, I think, other than just the Blue Angels. I mean, it's a whole air show all weekend long,
It
so
is,
that's
yeah. Just to mention a few, and the air shows start at around 11, and the Blue Angels are about 3:35. So, but they also with the air show, you get the Coast Guard are going to be there with the search and rescue. Marines are there, Air Force, Navy Growlers, and the Army Golden Knights, all part of the air show. So, and again, that's today, tomorrow, and Sunday. So go enjoy that. And the hydroplane races again today, tomorrow, and on Sunday the finals are at 2:45. And Stephen gave me a bit of information. If you would have said how fast do those hydroplanes go, I go, wow, they're really fast. They must go 100 miles per hour. No, you say the
they
max
go
speed is
pretty
like
fast.
220 miles per hour, right?
220, crazy, isn't it?
That's at Stan Sayers pits right down there by I forgot the park. Seward.
Seward Park.
Yeah, Seward Park.
How
Okay.
fast does your boat go?
Not 220 miles per hour, perhaps
Yeah.
22 miles per hour. But I
Wow.
think it
Well,
goes
that's
about I think it goes
pretty
about
good.
40. But it's
Yeah.
in
Oh,
it's in
40, really? Wow.
well,
That's pretty
it's
good.
in knots per hour. So I'm not sure
What's the difference? Do you know?
one's called knots and one's called miles per hour.
But they're pretty close, I think, right?
And they're
Aren't
not too
they?
far off.
Yeah.
I just know that the entire stretch between the marina that I'm in Ballard all the way out to Lake Washington is no wake, and that is 7 knots.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I believe that's 7 knots. Also, this weekend, you want to head up to Anacortes. You're going to do this, Stephen.
Well, it's my hometown where I grew up, born and raised. I'm there quite a bit, and it's the Anacortes Arts Festival, the second largest arts festival in the state of Washington. And I know since Jen's not here, but I'll ask for her. Do you know what the first largest art festival is in the state of Washington?
I do because you told me, but go ahead.
Well, you could pretend like I didn't tell you and
It's
like be also.
Bellevue.
Oh, that's right, Curt. Good
And,
job.
and I
That's
believe that
good.
was last weekend was the Bellevue Arts Fest. Might
Oh,
have been
was
two
it? Yeah, I
weekends
don't know.
ago. Maybe it was last weekend.
But this is cool. I've
So
never been because, well, for various reasons, but Watershed at the Gorge this weekend. That's
mhm.
always a big one, right?
Luke Bryan's there, Old Dominion, and Hardy. Again, I'm familiar with two of those bands. Hardy, I've not heard of, but apparently good country
Well, Old
music.
Dominion, no such thing as a broken heart. That's you got
Oh,
to live your
nice.
life like there's no such thing as a broken heart.
I've
So
heard of that
that's
one.
I love that song. And also Cole Swindell will be there. One of my favorite songs over the last couple of years is he did kind of a remake of Heads Carolina Tails California, that new
Mm,
version of that. So that was pretty cool too. So
fantastic. So you can check
that
that
should be
out at
good.
the Gorge. Sports fans, weekend. We've got Seahawks Football Fest tomorrow, 1 o'clock at Lumen Field. The Mariners are at home all weekend against the dastardly Phillies. I'm not sure that they're dastardly, but I just threw that in there.
And I'll be there on Sunday
All
watching.
right. Sounders play Sunday night as well. So plenty of sports to enjoy this weekend too. If you can stand the heat, you want to beat
I
the heat. You
know.
know what? That's actually as we wrap things up here, that'll be for Monday.
Okay.
Um, your homework is to chime in on this. We have one more month, not even a full month of summer left, right? 28 days or whatever it is now.
Well,
So
before
you're,
Labor
yeah, before Labor Day. Let's go. Okay, we'll go to Labor Day. One more month of summer. What's the thing on your summer 2024 bucket list that you have not done yet? Do you have an answer for that, Stephen?
You mean my to-do list right here? Yes, that's
Well, that's for work.
Oh, well, that is for work. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do have an answer for that. But maybe I'll do it this weekend and then it'll spoil it for Monday. But we
Okay, you
can,
can hold on to that. I know that
yeah.
Dana wants to go hiking. I think that she wants to do Mount Si. Is that and I apologize. I know, Rattlesnake Ridge and stuff, but is Mount Si a good hike?
It's right over there. And
For
it
you, it's right
is,
over there.
what?
For you, it's right over there in
Yeah, that's true.
Snoqualmie.
It is harder than most people think. I think it's long, and it's not my favorite of the hikes out here, but it is probably the second most popular one
What's
out
your
at
favorite of the
Before.
hikes out there? I want to do your favorite.
Well, this one's at the pass, but Snow Lake is my absolute favorite hike of all time.
Okay.
Snow Lake up, and you park at Alpental and go there. There's a lot of different ones out here, but I think Mount Si is one you should do for sure. But I do think it's harder than most people think. So,
What about on my old knees? Will I survive?
well, that's what I'm concerned with
Or will I
is,
have to have a helicopter come and do a rescue?
well, I think they have to, and I know some firefighters out here, they practice this. They run up the mountain to save people, which seems
Woof.
like, yeah,
Okay.
that's no
Well, I don't
fun.
think that'll be necessary. So that's what we want from you. You can comment right here or on any of the platforms. Final month of summer. So, what is the thing on your summer 2024 bucket list that you haven't done yet? All right. And we'll have answers for you Monday. Steven will be back on Monday. Jen returns on Tuesday. And yeah, this has been fun.
So Jen returns on Tuesday, which means more pink, I'm told, and more smiling. So
Yeah,
because
that was Randy who suggested. He's like, not bad, Steven. Good first day, but yeah, you need more pink and about 11. Turn it up to 11 on the happy meter, the cheer, because Jen's got that down. She does have that
yeah,
part down.
yeah.
But yeah, well, that's her thing. That's her jam.
And by the way, for those, and I'm sure you all know it, it's genuine and it's real. It's not put on with
Oh,
her.
Jen, yeah, super Jen. It's she has a bunch of energy and
Yeah,
or
love it.
Genergy, as they
Yeah,
say.
it's energy,
That's what it
and
is.
it's contagious, by the way.
Yeah, and she is a lot of fun. So, but I'm really enjoying doing the show with you as well. So have a good weekend, Stephen, and everybody. We're back on Monday, and
And I'll
as
see you
Jen,
Sunday.
that's right, you'll see me Sunday. As Jen always says, make good choices, find joy, and spread kindness.